It's Our Story. Jim Tuscher, St. Louis, Missouri.
Paraquad got a grant in 1979. It was one of the first 10 federally funded centers for independent living. And as soon as we got the money in the fall that year, Max and Colleen and a guy by the name of Bill Sheldon and I went out, made our sort of pilgrimage out to Berkeley, to the mecca, if you will, of independent living that Ed had started out there. And we visited for, I think it was 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days, I'm not really sure. And then the message that they kept giving us over and over again was advocacy, advocacy, advocacy. And another one of Ed's quotes, you've probably heard over and over again, is somebody supposedly asked Ed one day what the 3 most important things a Center for Independent Living should be doing. And he said advocacy, 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 but not necessarily in that order. And we came back to St. Louis with that message, and promptly, I was program director in those days, and set up what looked very much like a college counseling center. Well, I was a college counselor at the time, so I was on sabbatical from the college. And Max probably should have fired me. I say that now because he can't fire me anymore. But he probably should have fired me for doing that, because at one point, about 2 years later, we looked up and realized we're doing 98% direct services. And we were getting people out of nursing homes, finding that needle in a haystack apartment that happened to be accessible, getting them set up in there, and getting set up with attendants, get an extra bedroom and get maybe give them room and board to do it, because there weren't any paid attendants in those days either. But we'd find ways to sort of hook together an independent living setting. And we'd realized what we had done is made them more isolated than they were in a nursing home. They couldn't take a bus ride and have a beer or a cup of coffee with a friend or a movie if they should lose the apartment, God forbid, because there probably wasn't very many more left in the city of St. Louis that might meet their needs. So we sort of began to realize that it's sort of like we're sitting downstream here, and somewhere upstream they got a dock, and society's just marching people with disabilities right off the dock into the river, and then they come down, and if there's still something showing when they get out of the river, when they get down to us, we'll snatch them out and try to provide them with knowledge, opportunities to become independent. And it's sort of woke up to the fact that, gee, maybe we ought to go upstream and sort of tell those folks to knock it off up there, quit throwing our folks in the river, and change these other programs, change these schools, change these apartments, change the bus system, change the society so that people aren't damaged. It's not typically their disability that damages them socially, it's the way society's set up and the attitudes that do the damage. And at that point we started changing, and gosh, within a couple of years we were doing probably 40% direct service, 60% advocacy, trying to do community change kinds of things. And that's during that period of time when we first started getting involved in the political arena real heavily. And so independent living changed from getting up to our necks in direct service, and I think had some really nice direct services going, but unlimited resources, that's all we did. And we started changing so that we were doing more advocacy. I think it was a change for the better.
The It's Our Story project is a national effort to make disability history public and accessible. Visit us at www.itsourstory.org or on the It's Our Story project YouTube channel.